good afternoon to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast series, Sneakers and Stuff. The series where we talk about recent, upcoming, and notable releases in both the sneaker and streetwear, and also fashion world as well. all three of those big cultures there. In episode 4 today, we're going to be covering numerous topics. I have got so much to talk about in episode 4. Some highlights that we're going to be covering in episode 4 is that Comme Des Garcon plays Converse are getting restocked. A Cold War's Converse collaboration was actually really good. And another notable thing that we really need to talk about is the Fred Perry Raf Simons collaboration. Whew, that thing is absolutely crazy. We're going to be covering those things and more in today's episode. Guys, welcome back. I'm so happy to do another episode. It's so good. So, as we normally talk about, these episodes are done on a Sunday. But unfortunately, I had to delay Sunday's episode to today, Tuesday, for a multitude of reasons. Finally, work has, okay, this is going to be hard to say. So, over the past 5 weeks, work has given me a temporary support officer position, and that allowed me to do 40-hour weeks. Absolutely exhausted, absolutely killed me. I finally crashed on the weekend from that role. I know it's just a normal 40 hours. It was 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. But that, with YouTube, with Twitch streaming, with just everything, it just all caught up to me and I just absolutely crashed over the weekend. I was exhausted. I was absolutely exhausted. So Saturday, I didn't record anything on Saturday. So I didn't get around to doing everything that I wanted to do on Saturday. So I had to do it all on Sunday, and that left me no time on Sunday to do the actual episode. On top of that, it was my dad's birthday on Sunday, so I obviously had some, time to spend with my family, so I didn't get to do the episode. And Monday, I had work. I recorded as many videos as I could. I covered the Kith Major League Baseball collaboration that we had recently. That's, I had all my time that I should have spent on the podcast being used up by other things. So now, Tuesday, my day off, the day that I didn't get a shift from work, I'm spending it doing the podcast. So I don't even get a day off. But you know what? It's all worth it. It's all worth it. In today's episode, we're going to be doing just as we normally do. We're going to be covering various different things like upcoming streetwear and sneaker releases, recent streetwear, sneaker, and fashion releases, and notable streetwear, fashion, and sneaker releases that I think you guys should definitely keep tabs on. Now, normally in our previous episodes, we've done it in 7 parts, but in today's episode, episode 4, I felt like extending that to one more segment. I felt like making it 8 segments. So we're still going to have Sunday's best dressed, or in this case, it's going to be Sunday's best dressed. It's going to be Tuesday's whatever I throw together. Section 2, we're going to have Heat on My Feet, the series where the section where I talk about recent retros and sneakers that I've really been enjoying over the past week. Then a new segment that I'm going to introduce is recent pickups. Now, I know I do an unboxing series on the channel. Every single time I get a new piece of clothing, I unbox it on the channel and talk about it and showcase it to you guys on the channel. But I felt like having a summary of that, and also pieces that I buy locally that I can't obviously unbox on the channel, I felt like showcasing them there might be of interest to you guys. Maybe you want a consolidated, segment of, what I've been picking up recently. So I thought about adding that. I'm going to add another segment to the series to make it 8 segments in total, and it's going to be segment 3, which is recent pickups. So that of course means that if I've put in a 3rd segment there, it means all the other segments get pushed back. But then after we have recent pickups, we have segment 4, which is recent releases, where we'll be covering all the recent releases in the streetwear, fashion, sneaker, sometimes even jewelry world there. A very lovely segment there. We have so much to cover this week. There was a lot of stress actually, because you know me guys, I love trying to cover as much as I can on the channel. Just like taking note of how many recent releases there's been, I was like, damn, I have missed out on covering so much for you guys on the channel. The stress just really piled up just looking at that list, but thank God we can cover that all today in today's episode. After segment 4, we move on to segment 5, which is streetwear news and rumors. That's where I'll be covering streetwear news, so big things that are happening in fashion and streetwear news. I'll be covering streetwear and fashion rumors, you know, alleged collabs or alleged releases and stuff like that. And also, just notably, some, you know, upcoming collections that have been teased by lookbooks that I think you guys should, you know, put a pin in for when they release later down the line. You know, the latest news in fashion lookbooks and stuff like that. There are some very notable ones that we're going to be covering in this episode today. Moving on, we go on to essentially the same premise, but with sneakers news and rumors. Not as much is going to be covered today in that episode. There's not as many sneaker news related articles or news rumors that I had to cover today. It's mainly just leaks and, you know, maybe this will release next month, that type of deal, that type of stuff. So we're going to be covering those types of releases in segment 6. Moving on, we'll go to segment 7, which is upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. We have got quite a few, guys. Some of them that I'm so keen on, some of them that look so good. I'm super keen to get to segment 7, seriously. Not like, and surprisingly, I'm actually looking forward to segment 7 more than segment 8, which is upcoming sneaker releases. So in segment 8, we're going to be covering all the upcoming sneaker releases for the next week. I don't think we'll go too much further than the next week, so the next 7 days, as you know, we could be here till the end of time with alleged sneaker releases and upcoming sneaker releases if we weren't to cap it off at like a week from now, you know, because there's alleged sneaker rumors and releases going all the way to like 2022, you know, so we could be here forever with that. But yeah, no, we got some solid releases that are happening in the next week, guys. Definitely get keen for that. But that's it. That's all 8 segments that we're going to be covering today. So lots to talk about. Seriously, this is going to be a very long episode. Like, I'm going to hate myself when I have to edit and upload this. But it's going to be fun to talk about. That's my favorite part, talking about it all. So, first of all, let's dive into segment 1, which is Sunday's Best Dressed. But in this case, it's going to be Sunday's Best Dressed. More like Tuesday's laziest fit that we can come up with. But you know what? I'm still going to have fun with it. Let's do it. Let's dive into that first segment of episode 4 today, guys, which is Sunday's Best Dressed. Okay, guys, so to start it off with, we've got a not so matching set of champion pieces here. I'm rocking champion sweats with a champion reverse weave hoodie, and of course, you know, I mean, you got to have something that's contrasting a little bit, so you got to have some Chicago ones on down the bottom there. Honestly, I think grey on grey is just the way to go. I ideally would love to get either matching sweats with a hoodie or a hoodie that matches the sweats, because that would just complete the look. But this is my lazy Tuesday fit for today's episode. And that was section 1, guys. That was Sunday's Best Dressed, or in this case, Tuesday's laziest fit. I mean, I'm pretty damn comfy. And I suppose that's all that matters. We'll move on now to section 2, which is Heat on My Feet. And for this week, for a recent sneaker or retro that I have really been enjoying, it's going to go to the Shattered Backboard 3.0s. This shoe, when it first came out, stirred up a lot of controversy for its color. Jordan Brand decided to go with a very glossy finish over the top of the leather, and it enraged a lot of Shattered Backboard collectors and lovers of the colorway, because they're like, I don't want a glossy looking shoe. Initially, I was a little bit off put by it. I was like, it could have been better without a glossy finish. And now I don't feel any different. I still feel the same way. I still feel like, you know what, if this was just done in a non-glossy finish and was exactly the same as the breads that came out a couple years back, it could have been a really, really solid release. How do I feel about the aged midsole and outsole? Honestly, don't care. I think it actually adds to the look a little bit. All round, I actually really enjoy this shoe. And on top of that, I've really been enjoying it recently because of a recent pickup that I unboxed over the past couple videos, guys. I think you know what I'm talking about. We'll also get to that in part 3, as I just mentioned. So, really solid retro. The lining on it is insane. The quality is just a next level. Yeah, so for this week's hit on my feet, it's gonna go to the Air Jordan 1 High Shattered Backboard 3.0s. Okay guys, so moving on to section 3, we have recent pickup. And we'll start that off simply by me just showcasing that I got a bunch of Champion reverse weave hoodies. We did a massive unboxing episode from Zoomies in regards to that. You know, like I showcased all the hoodies that I have, all the ones that I've now got. It was a huge haul, but you know what? You can never go wrong with them. They're literally some of the best priced hoodies out there. Just like awesome cost to quality. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. So yes, I've picked up a lot of these recently, and that's going to be the first item that I showcase on the recent pickups section of today's episode. The second piece that I'm going to be showcasing to you guys that I picked up, one that, you know, I was alluding to when I was doing the heat on my feet section, it is the Baltimore Orioles Jeff Hamilton leather reversible jacket. Guys, I always say it, Jeff Hamilton knows what he's doing. Knows what he's doing when it comes to the use of leather. This leather applique calf skin on the back here, insane. The actual piece itself, so lightweight. It doesn't, like, I'm questioning if it's even leather, because generally a lot of the leather jackets that I have are quite heavy. This is so lightweight, not very breathable because I mean it's leather, but that's understandable, but it's a super lightweight jacket with some amazing colors. Like when do you see orange leather these days? I think orange leather needs to come back. It's just awesome. I've been wearing it with the Shattered Backboard 3.0s, and it's just been an awesome experience. It's reversible as well for satin inside. The condition is quite good. We do have a cut up here on the yellow, on the white leather, you guys can sort of see, and it's got some little scuffs here on the shoulder. No like major damage, just a little bit of wear and tear here and there, but it is a vintage piece. It is very old. But I love this piece, guys. I did an unboxing episode on it, so definitely go check that out on the channel if you want to see me unbox it. But I love this piece, and this piece is going to be the second piece that I'm showcasing to you guys today in our recent pickups section. Now finally, for the third item that I'm going to be showcasing in our third section today, in recent pickups, my third item, this one I have been hunting for years. Not the specific year that this item is from, but the item in general. It gets re-released every couple years, and honestly, I just wanted one of them. I just wanted one in my wardrobe to say that I have one, as like more like from a collector's standpoint, because now I can tick it off my list to say that I have it, and I've honestly loved it ever since I picked it up. What item am I referring to? It's actually an item I didn't unbox on the channel because I didn't buy it online. I actually bought it from a mate of mine at work, which was kind of crazy. It's got this whole story. So I went to work. I go to work basically every single day except for today. And I always wear my, I think it's fall winter or spring summer 2017 Supreme Duffel Bag in an extra large. It's made of Cordura material. It's amazing. It's super big. It has all the room. It's like the biggest duffel bag I could possibly use. It's awesome. And a guy at work actually questioned me about it. He's like, yo, like, where'd you get that? Yada, yada, yada. He was kind of testing the waters to see if I just like bought it off some Chinese website or if I'm like actually like a fan of Supreme and I actually buy some of their pieces. And I explained to him, I was like, oh, it came out a couple years ago. It came out in this season. He's like, yeah. So you're a fan of Supreme? And we got talking from that. It turns out that the guy at my work, his name's Alex, he is a huge fan, or at least he was back in the day, of Supreme. Back in like the peak Supreme era, like 2013 to 2015, he was a huge fan. That was like peak like Tyler Golf era. He picked up heaps of items from that era of Supreme, and he's just had them sitting in his wardrobe for years. Like he just doesn't wear it anymore because he's like past that, but he's still got it all stockpiled in his wardrobe. And recently I got talking with him. I was like, hey man, so like, are you looking to get rid of any of that? And he's like, yeah man, like I don't wear it anymore. Here's like all the pieces I got. Show me if you're interested in any of them. I'll sort you out with a good price because, you know, I just don't wear it anymore. I don't want the hassle of having to sell it online. So if you want to pick it up, you can pick it up. And that was awesome. That was really, really sweet. I've seen a bunch of pieces that he's got, some really old stuff from like that era that I just absolutely love, like the era just before I got into the brand. And one piece that I picked up from him, the piece that I've really been enjoying, is a fall-winter 2012. I think it came out in fall-winter 2012. Supreme red on gray box logo hoodie. This piece, crazy, man, crazy. I finally have a Bogo hoodie. I've been on the hunt for ages for one. More specifically, the heather gray ones, because these are iconic. I feel like this is one, if not the most iconic colorway of the Supreme Bogo hoodies. This one, from what I can tell from the wash tags and stuff like that, which, I mean, I don't know if I can, I can't really showcase it to you guys, but it's got the 2008 to 2012 wash tags. The Supreme logo itself doesn't have the copyrighted R in the circle there, so it fits the era of around 2008 to 2012. I've determined I think it's either the 2011 or 2012 one. Again, it's really hard because in that era of Supreme basically released the gray and red box logos every single year for like 3 to 4 years there, so it's quite hard to determine. Obviously, because of the wash tags and stuff, I can determine that it's not the 13 or 14 one. So it's either the 2011 or 2012 one. I'm still diving into which year it is specifically. It was quite easy to authenticate, or at least I consider it to be authentic. I went through all the Bogos, the stitching on the back, the tags up here, the wash tags, the little tag down the side, and from everything that I can find and comparing it to my Supreme items from around that era, I feel like it's an authentic hoodie here. As I said, an absolutely awesome piece, a piece that I've been wanting ever since I got into the brand back in 2014/2015, and Alex gave it to me for a really, really good price. Undisclosed though, I'm not gonna tell you the price, but it was very, very good. It does have a bit of wear and tear to it. The stitching under the arms is coming undone a little bit. The tag up here has actually been pulled so many times, the stitching has slightly come undone from that. So yeah, no, just an awesome piece, guys. Absolutely love it. It's in an extra large because I'm an extra large fella, but hopefully I can pick up some more items from him, and I absolutely love it. But that's going to end it off our third section, which is recent pickups. My first ever Bogo hoodie, an awesome Jeff Hamilton jacket, and just some nice Champion reverse weaves there. Yeah, awesome piece, absolutely love it. But yeah, that is recent pickups. We'll now move on to section 4, which is the big one. This is the big one here, fellas. We'll move on to section 4, which is recent releases. Okay, guys. Okay, so we got a lot to cover. We got so much. So let's just start it off with the release that we did, or at least the release that I covered in the previous video, which was that Kith and MLB are collaborating to do a select few teams to get a Monday program capsule dedicated to them. Yesterday we got to see the Yankees and the Dodgers get theirs, and then next week, or at least I assume next week, we're going to get the second half of it. I don't know what teams are going to be included in the second half there, but we got to see the first half. Some very solid releases there, some very solid items. Would have loved to pick some of it up, but as you just saw with my recent pickups, I have splashed a little bit too much cash recently, so might have to hold off on that. But it's sold out instantly. As soon as it dropped, it sold out. Kith is honestly becoming the new Supreme in a way, or at least the new New York streetwear brand, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, all sold out, guys, but yeah, an awesome collection to start off section 4. Moving on, we have a collection that I have been talking about for ages, and finally it released, and unfortunately I didn't get to cover it in its own video. I would have loved to do that, but as I mentioned in this video today, guys, I had a support role which made me work 40-hour weeks, so I didn't get the time to do it. But now that I'm not in that role, which is, yes, it's unfortunate, I do now get paid less and everything like that, I have a little bit more free time to spend on YouTube. So hopefully we'll be able to cover future releases. But yes, Fragment Designs and Jordan Brand released for an apparel collaborated for an apparel collection on September 17th. A very nice collection. There were some really solid pieces there where Fragment Designs, you know, Hiroshi Fujiwara's brand, really grabbed some iconic Americana and did it on a bunch of sweatshirts and t-shirts and everything like that. It felt very college, university, campus inspired. It was really, really well done. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to pick up some of the pieces, but I decided to splash my cash elsewhere this week. But yeah, no, very solid release there. And next, moving on from that, we also got the Fragment Designs Jordan brand Jordan 3s. A Jordan 3 that had been using a lot of regularly used motifs that Hiroshi Fujiwara has been using on a lot of his sneaker collabs recently. This released alongside the apparel collection. What I think quite interestingly is that the Jordan 3s released alongside the apparel collection, but we're getting the Air Jordan 35s releasing in October by themselves, but they were showcased in the lookbook for this collection. So I just thought I'd just mention that quite quickly. It was very weirdly done with the lookbook. It kind of felt like they should have delayed this release until October, waiting for the 35s to release and then release it all at the same time, but whatever. They did what they did. Yeah, the Jordan 3s though, they released, as I said, same time as the apparel, so September 17th for $200 US. Next, we had Supreme week 4 of their Fall Winter 2020 collection. This released on top of the same date as well, September 17th. You honestly, guys, has anyone else just been losing cash out of their wallet because of the recent releases? September 17th was a wild time. Now, honestly, I have to say, we did a drop list video for week 4. The stuff that actually released from Supreme in that week kind of sucked. What actually was good in that week was the Yohji Yamamoto collaboration. Let's be real, everyone's dunking on it, but I'm gonna say there were some nice pieces in there, and it was well overdue. I honestly was surprised Yohji hadn't collaborated with Supreme in the past before, but yeah, no, definitely a really good week. I may have picked up an item from there. I may have been in contact with an Australian company that is able to pick up Supreme items, so we might have something on the way, guys. You just have to wait and see. With like shipping and everything like that, it's probably going to be like 2 weeks until you actually see it, but yeah, stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun unboxing episode. Moving on, we have Palace Skateboards week 7. That happened the day after, September 18th. A very solid week. Highlight of the week was obviously the Tri Crusher hoodie. I managed to successfully score that. I did a copped or dropped episode if you want to watch me, you know, try and cop it, or if I had to drop it there. Obviously, I kind of spoil it for you. I was able to cop it. But yeah, an awesome piece. Highlight of the week. I also picked up a second piece from that week, which was the JK knit. Definitely an underrated piece, a piece that people just slept on. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a sick knit. Both of them are on its way, guys, so, you know, we'll unbox those when they get there. But yeah, Palace week 7 dropped on September 18th. A very solid week there. Moving on September 18th as well, we had another drop. We had the Antisocial Social Club X Neighborhood capsule. Unfortunately, I didn't get to cover this in its own separate video, guys. I would have loved to absolutely do that, because, you know, you guys love Antisocial Social Club. You love watching those videos, so I definitely would have covered that. I'm a big fan of Neighborhood. I don't own any Neighborhood pieces, but there are a lot of pieces that I've got my eyes on that I would not mind picking up. But yeah, they collaborated. It's kind of silly because the motto for the collaboration that they used for all their slogans was like crafted with care or something like that, and I'm like, crafted with care? Antisocial Social Club? You wish. I mean, come on, let's be real. Antisocial Social Club, their processing time, their shipping times, the quality of their pieces, crafted with care. I mean, Neighborhood, I believe you, but Antisocial Social Club, okay. Anyway, that released on September 18th. It was filled with various all over logo pieces. Pretty wild capsule there. Next, we have a collection that released that I talked about in the last episode, which was the 10C Sakai Fall Winter 2020 collection collaboration. This released in Sakai's Fall Winter 2020 collection, and it released on September 19th on Sakai's store and Sakai's, I assume, physical locations as well. This was just a really well done, how do I put it? Like, it wasn't patchwork, but it was like military outwear themed pieces that were stitched together from different pieces put together. So it kind of looks like a Frankenstein military outwear winter capsule. It was just awesome. I loved like the trench coats and stuff like that. I don't have any military wear. Like I've got like out of everything that I have in my wardrobe, I've got nothing that's military wear. But that Sakai collection, ooh, it almost made me buy some. It was awesome. But in saying that, Sakai is very expensive because it's a high-end brand. But amazing. It dropped on September 19th, so on the Saturday. Definitely something you guys should go check out. Moving on, I should have mentioned this before, but Palace Skateboards actually had a collaboration. They, for their 7th week, collaborated with British band Happy Mondays. This released alongside with the week. Lots of crazy pieces here. The photo tee was an absolute hit. And we got a crazy all-over rainbow print jacket. That was absolutely wild. If you watch my Copped or Dropped video, you can see my frustration. Because, like, I'm obviously trying to cop it, right? And when you loaded the Palace page for week 7, right? All of the Happy Mondays stuff appeared initially, and I was like scrolling past it. I'm like, bro, I don't give a crap about the Happy Monday stuff. Just give me the Try Crusher hoodie. It was very good. It was very good. Like, I love the collection, but in that moment, I was like, I do not care about Happy Mondays. Just give me the Try Crusher hoodie. But it was very good. It was very good. Yeah, it was a fun little collaboration, and that released alongside the actual week when week 7 dropped on the 18th there. Okay, moving on, we had the Adidas Yeezy 380 Pepper and Pepper Reflectives release as well this week. They released for non-reflective $230 USD and reflective for $250 USD. This was not a very, very popular release, guys. This sat on end when it dropped. When it dropped in other stockists, I assume it sold out, but really says something about Yeezy in 2020 if you know, understandably the 350 V2s can sit sometimes when they release like horrible colorways, but the fact that newer models are sitting now, I would be concerned, Kanye. I would be focusing more on doing more sneaker releases, but that's just how I feel. Maybe release those duck boots that we've all been waiting for years, or some more 750s. Just my thoughts and opinions there. Next, we had the Cold Wall Converse apparel collection. This released alongside with 2 pairs of sneakers, a pair of really military, utilitarian Chuck Taylor 70s. You don't even recognize them, man. They do not even look like Chuck 70s, I tell you. They released for 140 USD, so for Chuck Taylor's... That's pricey. That is pricey for Chuck Taylors. Also, we got a second pair of sneakers that released in that collection, which are the ERXs. They released for 160 USD, which... Oof, Jesus. But, I mean, it's a Cold Wall, and I love a Cold Wall. Samuel Ross, which I think that's his name off the top of my head, is the lead designer of a Cold Wall. He does some awesome stuff, man. Seriously, go check out a Cold Wall. Heaps of people dunk on a Cold Wall. I think it's underrated and overhated. A Cold Wall is awesome. Yeah, they released apparel alongside this collection. Some very nice, very Cold Wall themed pieces, and it works very, very well with the sneakers. This released on the 17th, guys, for various different price points, as we just discussed, but a collection that's definitely worth remembering. Next, I wish I had all the money in the world for this next collection because I would buy almost every single piece from it. It is amazing. Amazing. Especially the outwear and knits. Amazing. Literally amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Next, that recently released is the Fred Perry x Raf Simons collaboration collection. It was inspired by a London music club, and it is just... it's awesome. It features a lot of imagery plastered all over the pieces from iconic bands playing at this music club, and it released on September 17th. The knit. You guys know, I've only recently been expressing it, but how much I love knits. I need Raf Simons knits in my wardrobe, man. There are so many solid knits that he's released over the years. I need all of them. I need all of them. The ones from this Fred Perry collaboration, it takes elements from his Riot collection, which, like, you know, is made iconic because of the bomber jacket. It takes the idea of grabbing those images and plastering them and sewing them onto the piece in all these random positions, and it puts it into this Fred Perry collaboration. Amazing. It's still available. It didn't sell out when it first released. The sizes that did sell out are the big sizes, so my size, which, you know, classic. No other size sells out but the big size. Classic. Yeah, didn't sell out. I don't know why this is being overlooked. Why is no one talking about this? It's an insane collection. I seriously recommend go checking it out, guys. It's available on Fred Perry's store. Go look at it now. Next we have that Beyonce collaborated with Adidas and released some superstars. A very interesting take on the superstars, I must say. The outsole and midsole. That's very unique. That's a very unique take on the superstars. I actually really liked it. I thought it was kind of crazy. It's not like your typical, like, I don't want to say it, but, you know, typical collaboration that Prada did, where they just like rebranded it, chucked some brands on it, made it in Italy, done dusted, we'll call it a day. This actually changed it a little bit, and it was actually pretty cool. This released for 220 USD on the 18th. And that's it, guys. That is all the recent releases that I have for you. As I said, that was a lot of things to cover there, but a lot of really, really solid releases that week. That was a week to remember. I tell you, September in 2020, it's been delivering the goods. It has been delivering the goods. I will move on now to segment number 5, which is streetwear news and rumors. So, segment 5, streetwear and fashion news and rumors, and also just collections that you guys should definitely pay attention to, as they have recently been teased through new articles and the latest news, you know. So we'll start off section 5 by talking about actually some grim news. This is something that's quite unfortunate. Bob Gore, also known as Robert Gore, he passed away at the age of 85 recently. This has happened in the past 48 hours. It's very tragic. Very tragic. He made huge leaps and bounds in, you know, clothing technology and even in sneaker technology, because the technology that he invented got translated over to sneakers quite recently. What did he invent? Who is Robert Gore, or Bob Gore? What did he do? Well, the last name should kind of give it away for you guys. He was the inventor of Gore-Tex. So you have to thank him for all the Supreme Gore-Tex jackets, all the iconic Gore-Tex sneakers. Anything to do with Gore-Tex is because of this man. Yeah, it's a sad, sad day in the streetwear and fashion world. We lost one of the legends, but without that material, so many collaborations that we know and love, so many releases that we know and love would have never come to light. And honestly, it's sad to see him go. Hopefully someone continues on the legacy of innovation when it comes to these materials, and we can get the new Gore-Tex at some point in the future. You know, maybe he has a young protege that'll take over his work and make Gore-Tex squared or 2.0 or something. But yeah, no, unfortunate, guys, but that is our first thing that we're going to be covering in section 5. Let's move on to something a little bit lighter, something that's a little bit more happier in this regard. So as you guys may or may not have noticed, over the past year to year and a half, Stussy has been put into the limelight. Everyone's like, oh my god, Stussy, wow, crazy, let's all collaborate with Stussy, we love Stussy. Nothing against Stussy, it's just like, it's a trend at the moment to collaborate with Stussy, because it's like nobody cared about Stussy and now everyone's collaborating with Stussy and they're like, wow, how hot is Stussy? That's a topic for like a video in itself. But anyway, Virgil Abloh, Mr. Creative Director of Louis Vuitton, Mr. CEO of Off-White, has teased that we are getting potentially an Off-White Stussy collaboration in the works. I mean, if we're getting a Dior Stussy collaboration, if Stussy's collaborating with huge brands like that, I could see this happening. I could definitely see this happening. So yeah, all that we've got at the moment is like a photo of a tee. That's really about it. There's nothing else, no release details, you know, no lookbook or anything like that. All we've got is a tee. For all we know, it could just be like a one-off tee that Virgil did. Like, we don't actually know if it's going to turn into a thing, but it's some streetwear news there, guys, so I was going to cover it in today's episode. A collection that I think you guys should definitely pay attention to, one that recently happened, was the Revenge x Playboy collaboration. This kind of went under the radar. I didn't get to cover it in its own video, but yeah, no, seriously, guys, this is an awesome little one. High quality pieces by what I can see. Don't know because I don't actually have any of them. In collaboration with some Playboy motifs embroidered onto the pieces. Pretty solid, pretty easy to wear. Comes in either pink or black for most of the collaboration. I love that. That's very playful. Yeah, no, it's a sick little collection that recently released in the past couple days, guys. You guys should definitely pay attention to. Okay, now moving on, we have a collection, another collection you guys should definitely look out for. The Undercover Autumn Winter 2020 men's collection. Ooh, guys, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So this collection, the Fallen Man, that's the name of the collection. A Fallen Man collection for Undercover's Autumn Winter 2020 season. It's crazy. Kimonos, amazing outwear, French coat styled kimonos. It's just amazing, guys. It's so well done. I would love to get a piece from it. Can't get a piece from it because it's gonna cost thousands of dollars and I don't have thousands of dollars to spend on Undercover, but it is amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's definitely a collection you guys need to stay, you know, put a pin in and stay tuned for, like, you know, when it's going to release in international stockists and stuff. But it is crazy. Definitely look out for the Fallen Man collection. Next, we have a women's collection that I actually think is worth putting a pin in. We have the Undercover, of course, Autumn Winter 2020 to 2021 women's, I think it's Monoke, Mononoke, Monoke, I think that's how you say it. This collection is like tartan meets Japanese tailoring, and I love it. It's like they grabbed Vivienne Westwood and combined it with Japanese fashion. It's sick, man. Honestly, if I was, I would even wear it, and I'm a dude. Some of the pieces in this collection are absolutely insane. The outwear looks sick. I would definitely wear some pieces from this. I think this is a collection that both men and women need to pay attention to. The only downside is that because it's Undercover, it's going to be in Japanese sizing. And if I think Japanese men's sizing is small, as we recently covered when I unboxed the Cindy Sherman piece from the 2020 Spring Summer collection, if men's Japanese sizing is small, I could only imagine what Japanese women's sizing is going to be like. That's going to be like extra small. So I don't think I'm personally going to be able to fit into any of it if I tried, because, you know, I'm a huge dude. But hey, if you're smaller and you love Japanese fashion, that's a collection you definitely need to go check out. So now a rumor in the streetwear world. This one circulates every single year, every single season, but allegedly Supreme is going to do long sleeve tee box logo. Now, if this is true, it's probably going to be the cross box logo that we've seen in the lookbook. That's obviously coming in a hoodie version this season, guys, but whenever Supreme does a Bogo hoodie these days, they seem to like to do it in a tee as well. Will they do it in a long sleeve? I don't know, man. It's been a long ass time since Supreme has done long sleeve box logo t-shirts. If we do get a cross Bogo t-shirt, I feel like it's going to be a short sleeve one, but I just thought I'd mention it. There are alleged rumors that we're going to get a long sleeve tee Supreme box logo this season. Now, this is a rumor. Nothing has been confirmed this week. I feel like it's going to get pushed to next week. Just because Supreme's already getting a collaboration this week, I feel like it's just going to get too heavy if they release it this week, but I can understand why they want to release this week. What we've got is Supreme is allegedly doing a North Face collaboration this week, in week 5. I have my doubts. I don't think it's going to happen. I can understand why. As we just discussed in this first part of this segment, Gore passed away. So it's like, I could understand Supreme wanting to honor his legacy by doing a Gore-Tex collaboration as soon as possible for this season, because they haven't done one this season yet. They have not done a Gore-Tex collab or a release this season yet, or more specifically, a North Face collaboration. They haven't done a North Face collaboration this season yet. So I can already envision it now, There's going to be Supreme, the North Face, Gore-Tex pieces galore. There's going to be pants. There's going to be coats. There's going to be everything. I can see it, and I can understand why, but it's allegedly going to come out in week 5. I reckon it's going to come out in week 6, just because, you know, as I mentioned, they've already got a collaboration that's coming out this week, which we will definitely cover as well. But yeah, I just can't see it happening this week, but of course it is coming as soon as possible. Now, this one's a little bit different. This one is, I guess, sneaker related, but it's a little bit odd, but I think it's actually really well done. So Foot Locker is looking to change 2,000 of its stores to voting booths for the presidential election in the US. I thought this was a really good move by Foot Locker as a business. Obviously, it's a huge topic that is talked about in both the news and amongst a lot of political commentators, that the US has a big voter suppression problem. You know, people are unable to get to voting booths. People are unable to get their vote in on time because there's such a large volume of people wanting to vote, and there's only like 1 or 2 booths open in these areas. So what Foot Locker is going to do is on voting day, which from what I remember is November 3rd, they're going to come in and change 2,000 of their stores in the US to voting booths to make it easier, so voter suppression is not as big of an issue for this presidential vote, which I think is really nice of them. As I said, it's a very weird thing to bring up in this podcast, but I mean, Foot Locker's a sneakers store and we cover sneakers, so I mean, it's semi-related, I suppose. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. 2020, man, what a wild year we are experiencing. Foot Locker is changing to voting booths for when the next presidential vote is. So yeah, that's wild. Next, another collection that you guys should definitely pay attention to and just, you know, put a pin in. It's not really a collection, actually. It's more of like a capsule of clothing. It's A-League Studios, because, you know, I mean, I absolutely love A-Leagues. I'm obsessed with their jewelry. Their jewelry is so good. I do love some of their outwear as well, but I'm a broke boy, so I can't afford that thousands of dollars outwear yet. Maybe one day we can. Never say never, but yeah, they are releasing this crazy ass denim jacket. It is the most denim in general, because they're doing pants as well, they're doing jeans as well. This is the most distressed denim I have probably ever seen. I can't think of anything that's more distressed than this denim. It's already released. Definitely put a pin in it, guys. If you love distressed denim, if you love denim that is so shredded up it doesn't even look like denim anymore, this is for you. But also please have thousands of dollars, because it is very, very expensive. But it's now available in A-League Studios' store. It is a wild, wild piece, man. Both the jeans and the jacket are just absolutely crazy. Definitely put a pin in that for the most wild, distressed denim piece of this year. And last but not least, for section 5, we have that Supply Store. Yes, the Melbourne-based Australian store. Really proud that I can say an Australian brand is doing something in the world of streetwear and fashion. Because normally we don't do anything in Australia. We just consume. We don't actually make anything. We're pretty useless in that regard. But we're actually doing something. Yeah, Australia Supply Store. They are reworking some Carhartt work in progress pieces. And they did a collection of it recently. They released exclusively on Supply Store's store, and it was really, really well done. I really like the colors in it. It was a huge, huge release. It was definitely like, I was like proud, you know, like I felt like I was like, yes, go Australia, do something. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that to you guys for some Australian pride right there. Supply Store collaborated with Carhartt Work in Progress to do some pieces, and it was really, really cool, and you should definitely go check it out. But that's everything to do with section 5, guys. That is all of our streetwear news and rumors, latest releases that you should put a pin in and have a look at. That's it. That's it for section 5. So we'll move on now to the sneaker version of that, and see what new sneaker news we have, new sneaker rumors we have to cover in this episode. So to start off, section 6, which is sneaker news and rumors, we have the Air Jordan 1 Dark Mockers, or the broke boy version of the Travis Scott ones. Which, I mean, I'm more likely to pick up anyway. I'm not making myself seem like I'm better than the rest of you guys, don't worry. I don't own any Travis Scott Jordans. and I'm definitely not going to be able to buy them anytime soon, but that is the nickname that these dark mockers have been given by some Instagram pages that I've seen, that the dark mockers are just like a broke boy version of the Travis Scott Jordan 1s, which I thought was a bit of a laugh. Allegedly, this is going to release next month. I honestly don't know if it is, though. This thing has been teased for months upon months. It's just been pushed back like so many times. It might even just release next year. It might even just release in 2021. I doubt it's going to release in October, but I can be proven wrong, you know. I'm willing to be proven wrong. Let's see if Jordan Brand does release the Dark Mocha Jordan 1 highs in October, but allegedly it's going to be October 31st. So it's going to be right at the end. So again, see my speculation? I'm like, I don't feel like it's going to come out. Next, we also have another October rumor, which is that the off-white rubber dunks, you know, the first original idea? The first original sneaker that Nike and Off-White have done, because Off-White, all the collaborations with Nike at the moment with Off-White have just been reimaginations of already released models. From what I know, this is the first ever model that isn't an already existing one. This is a fresh new idea for Off-White and Nike, which I'm very happy to see that they're doing this. I initially covered the first two colorways like months ago, like 6 months ago. I haven't covered the third colorway, and it's literally been like in the back of my mind for months that I need to cover the third colorway. Allegedly, these rubber dunks are releasing in October, which awesome, because we haven't had a confirmed release date. We were hearing about them at the start of the year, even late last year, I think. So I'm just happy to see that they're like finally allegedly coming out, you know? Another rumor that we have, guys, is that Sean Witherspoon is collaborating with Adidas once again to do a ZX 8000. We've got some like very zoomed in images at the moment. They're like very, very zoomed in. It features a lot of iconic motifs or styles that Sean did on his recent Superstars. So it makes sense, and it kind of, you know, it fits the evidence to suggest that this is another Sean Witherspoon collaboration. This is allegedly coming out in February next year, 2021. Ages away, but it's a sneaker rumor. I'm sorry, I thought I would cover it for you guys. Now, the next bit of sneaker news is an odd one. It's an odd one. So, if you guys didn't know, as of late, Kanye has been wiling out on Twitter. He's just been going crazy. He has been posting a lot of random stuff, mainly to do with music industry and how horrible that is. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that he's saying, it's actually really nice to see someone actually say it. But Kanye being Kanye, he's been saying some wacky things as well. And one wacky thing that he said, that he has now apologized for, which I thought was quite nice, is that Puma's designs were wacky. I don't know the actual like quote, but there is a tweet that has it there on what he said. And as I said, he recently apologized for it. But yeah, basically a bit of sneaker news is that Kanye was wiling out about Puma, saying that Puma designs weren't that good, which I thought was kind of low, because I was like, man, Puma as of late, over the past like year or two, I've been doing some really low-key, really good releases, and it's kind of hard to just dunk on Puma, because Puma doesn't have the hype that Adidas and Kanye has, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not a bad shoe company. It doesn't necessarily mean that their designs aren't good. Hype encourages people to buy things that aren't necessarily good. And I think that evidence is there with Yeezy, because there are so many disgusting colorways of Yeezys that people buy anyway because the hype's there. And yeah, I feel like it's just a little bit rude to dunk on Puma just because, you know, I mean, there was no actual designs that were critiqued or anything like that. It was just like, in general, your designs aren't as good. And I was kind of like, I don't know, Kanye, like, you have a lot of hype to you and a lot of your designs aren't that good. I kind of mean to just dunk on Puma, but I'm happy he apologized for it. Honestly, I think a lot of people do need to get around Puma more. There's some really solid Puma releases. The Puma Def Jam collaboration for Public Enemy recently over the past 6 months, that still sticks with me because that was a really, really cool collab. It was handled really, really well. There are solid Puma releases. So I just thought I'd mention that quite quickly, that yeah, Kanye went wild on Twitter, as he does, and he ripped on Puma there. Next, we have another Off-White rumor. Allegedly, another release that's happening in 2021 is that we are getting the Off-White Nike Air Zoom Tempo. This has been showcased to us in a leaked image. No release details, no confirmations as of yet, but it looks like we're getting that release in 2021. And it looks like we're getting some more Off-White Nike themed running shoes, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are super keen on. The running shoes that Off-White collaborates with Nike on, they're not usually the ones that sell too well. I mean, I know it's a bad example to use the women's waffle shoes that he did, but they do not sell well. They're on like clearance racks and stuff. You can pick them up for like dirt cheap. But yeah, the running shoes never sell as well. Redoing the iconic silhouettes are the ones that sell really well with Off-White. But yeah, I just thought I'd just mention as our last thing for section 6, allegedly we're getting an Air Zoom Tempo done by Off-White next year in 2021. But that's everything I got to say for section 6, guys. Section 7, which I love, it's one of my favorite sections. We're now going to move into section 7, which is upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. Let's get into it. Section 7, one of my favorite sections, and as I have mentioned, it's got a lot of jam-packed goodness in it this time around for this episode today. So let's start it off with section 7, upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. To start it off, I don't know how to pronounce this brand name. I think it's Etude. I don't think the D's pronounced, but if it is, then it's Etudes. Is collaborating or doing a capsule surrounded around Terminator 2. Guys, Terminator 2, one of my favorite 90s films. Probably easily my top 5 favorite action films of all times. It succeeded the original in every single way. The CGI, even though it came out in 1991, still stands up very well today in 2020. I gotta say, I'm very impressed by the CGI there. I could almost pass that as like early 2000s, and it was done in the early 90s. One of my favorite films. I love it way more than the original. If I had to watch any Terminator film over and over again, it would be Terminator 2. Just amazing. Yeah, Etudes is doing a capsule. They originally did one t-shirt, but now they're doing a capsule of Terminator 2 inspired clothing. I'm gonna be real, the t-shirts, the hoodies, I can kind of sleep on them. I'm kind of like, yeah, that looks like something that, like, you know, Urban Outfitters would do or something like that. Like, it's just like, let's grab the cover of the movie and plaster it on some tees and hoodies. And I was like, yeah, that's all right. Like, I'm a fan, but the one piece that blew me away in this collection, the one that I really want because of my obsession with knits at the moment, is the Terminator 2 knit. The Terminator, and it's done in like a 90s video game 8-bit style, and I love that. I love that. So they did this knit in this collection. It's coming out today, by the way. This collection is coming out today. They did a knit that has a Terminator skull on the front of it, and it also has on the back T2, hasta la vista baby. It's just amazing, man. It just combines my love of streetwear and my love of Terminator 2 together, and it's exactly what I wanted. It's just awesome. Like, as I said, screw everything else in that collection. I don't need it. Give me that knit in an XL or an oversized 2XL. I'm set for life. Love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to bring up. It's the Etude or Etudes Terminator 2 collection that's releasing today, September 22nd. Now next, we have our favorite British skating brand coming back to do a little tee. So, a little tee collection actually. So we have Palace doing the, get ready for the name of the collection. I love it. It's so dumb, but it's like, yeah, okay, Palace. What we got is the Palace Try to Help collection. Oh, get it? Palace has the Tri-Ferg logo, and it's a try to help collection. It's very like it was dumb, but I love it. I was like, yeah, classic. Yeah. So they're doing a collection of t-shirts with Tri-Ferg logos on them. Nothing too crazy, but it's all to do for charity. So I don't know. I can't remember the actual proportion of the money that goes towards it, but their charity of choice helps out marginalized minorities in both religion, sexual orientation, and race. So it covers three huge groups right there, and it helps them fulfill their dreams and helps them struggle in today's, helps them with their struggling issues in today's world. I thought it was a very good charity. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, but this Try to Help Tea collection is releasing tomorrow, September 23rd. So it's not releasing alongside week 8 of Palace's Autumn 2020 collection. It's releasing by itself on Palace's store. It'll be releasing, on the 23rd. If you just want a nice little Tri-Ferg tee that helps out a charity, that helps out minorities, there you go. There you go. Pick that up on September 23rd. We'll move on now to the next piece of news, which is still Palace related. And of course, it's Palace Week 8. What other piece of news could it be, guys? Yeah, so obviously we have Week 8 of Palace's Autumn 2020 collection. It is releasing on September 25th. The drop list may have been released by now. Normally it releases around Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. I'll definitely cover it in its own video and its own drop list video, guys. But yeah, lots of sick stuff that I'm hopefully keen will release this week. Now, just to touch on that quite quickly, we had the rumor that in week 7 we were going to get the Palace Bulldog graphic done on a knit, which I would have loved, but when you go to the seasonal range, the Bulldog knit is not there. So I actually think it's not going to release this season. I think it's going to release in a future season, because yeah, it's not on the seasonal range. So I don't know what's releasing this week, guys. Hopefully it'll be a lot of good stuff. Will I pick up anything from this week? It would have to be pretty damn good for me to pick up from this week, because I've bought a lot of Palace stuff recently, so we're just going to have to see what Palace has in store for us. But yeah, week 8 is dropping on September 25th. And next we have, of course, if we're talking about one skateboard skating brand's release, we've got to talk about the American one, which is Supreme. They are releasing week 5 of their Fall-Winter 2020 collection, and that is releasing on September 24th. We've got an announced collaboration for that week. No items have been leaked to us as of yet, besides the collaborations items, but it should be good. I'm hoping for some very nice items this week, as week 4, besides the collaboration, it wasn't very good. Week 4 wasn't very good. Like, ignoring the Yoji Yamamoto Supreme stuff, just week 4, it wasn't very good. Hopefully week 5 will bring it back and we'll have some really solid items that are releasing in that week. Now, next we've got another brand that I'm a little bit unsure on how to pronounce, but we have the Monitali, M-O-N-I-T-A-L-Y, however the hell you pronounce that. They recently did their Fall-Winter 2020 collection, and they've released a bunch of crazy, unique pieces that I thought we'd just mention. It released today, I'm pretty sure, or a couple, maybe yesterday, within the past like 20 or 48 hours, I think. They have done some crazy work with quilted pieces. So quilted pieces aren't normally things that appear in a lot of bigger brands besides skating brands these days, but this brand has done quilted denim jackets where it's half denim, half quilt, and quilted trench overcoats. Crazy stuff in really contrasting colors. So it's very unique. I definitely recommend go checking it out, guys. There is some crazy stuff in this collection. Now, moving back to our favorite skating American brand, we have Supreme Joel Peter Whitkin collaborating for week 5. It's been teased to us, it's been showcased to us. We're getting a bunch of hoodies, t-shirts, and I think crew neck sweaters, I want to say. It looks like a very cool collaboration. It's his artwork applied to a bunch of hoodies and other pieces there. I'll try and do its own Streetwear Talk video for it, but that'll be releasing as part of week 5 there. Now, up next we have on, I think it's October 5th, I want to say? The first Monday in October. we are getting a Der Schutzer release. They are releasing at the moment one hoodie, but I feel like it's going to expand to like 3 or 4 hoodies. They are releasing the Nuclear hoodie, which I will hopefully have a video for itself there in a couple days time, hopefully. Again, I think I'm going to hold out until I see the rest of the hoodies, and then I'm probably going to do the video. But yeah, so Der Schutzer is releasing the Nuclear hoodie, which is a red hoodie featuring a nuclear explosion graphic on the chest there. Looks very, very cool. Very, very keen for it. Hopefully, well, we'll see if I'll pick this one up. I'll make my decision when I do the Streetwear Talk video, guys, but a very interesting piece. Very keen to see what releases alongside it, but we are getting that in early October, and I honestly just get hyped for that, guys. And of course, if we had, you know, section 1 of Kit's Major League Baseball Monday program, we're also going to get next Monday, well, I assume anyway, part 2. If we got part 1, I reckon we're going to get part 2. Yeah, no, not much has been teased to us about this. I don't know if it's just more Yankees and Dodgers stuff. I don't know if it's 2 other teams that are getting the spotlight next week. But yeah, next Monday we'll be getting the second half of it, hopefully. Who knows what's going to be in it, but if it was as solid as the first week, I can only imagine it. It's going to be fun. Get ready for Kit's Monday program release next Monday, guys. And last but not least, we have our favorite tapestry crewneck brand, or a tapestry brand in general. They are doing another drop. 4444 is dropping a collection of Good Kid, Mad City, a collaborative piece which is really, really cool, and all these other things on September 24th, so 2 days from now. Looks very, very promising. I would love to go for the Good Kid, Mad City one because, I mean, Good Kid, Mad City is just an insane album. I don't know which one I'm going to be going for initially, but we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, it's a super sick piece. Very, very keen for it. That's it there. September 24th, 4444. And that's it for Section 7. That's all of the upcoming streetwear and fashion releases that I thought I'd just cover for you guys there. Super awesome. Let's move into our final section, Section 8, which is upcoming sneaker releases. Okay, guys, here it is. Final section, final one for the podcast. What do we got? We got upcoming sneaker releases. So, to start it off with, we have the Air Jordan 13 releasing in the Lucky Green colorway. This is releasing on September 26th for $190 US. Not a super wild release, not one that everyone's going to be like, oh my god, wow, this is a must-have. But it's solid, you know? Like, you look at it, you're like, it's not a must-have, but you just can't go wrong with it. You just can't go wrong with it. It's solid. So yeah, I would say this is a solid pickup. As I said, it's releasing this September 26th for $190 US. Moving on, we have another dunk, you know, of course, a new week, another dunk. 2020 is the year of the dunks. We have the Dunk High, so not SB, no fat tongues or anything like that. We have the Dunk High Michigan releasing. It's releasing on September 23rd, so tomorrow for $110 US. This is a big release because it's one of the OG colorways of the dunks. So back in 1985, Nike had a program called Be True to Your School, where you could wear school colors that are then applied onto dunks. And Michigan was one of the dunks that released back then. Now, back in 1985, they were released as highs, but over the years, they've released as highs, lows, mids, everything like that, right? So it's really cool to see in 2020, we revisit the origins, the originals, the OGs that released in 1985, which is the Michigans. Now, these did release in 2016, and believe it or not, back in 2016, these were hitting discount racks, man. People were like, dunks? Who needs a dunk? Now, ever since Travis Scott wore it, everyone's like, oh my god, I need like 50 pairs. But yeah, so it's only been 4 years and we're getting a retro of it. I mean, they can retro dunks after 4 years, but Jordans that we've been wanting for like 20 years, they can't be bothered retroing. Clearly Nike has its priorities set. But anyway, that's releasing in the next 24 hours on September 23rd for $110 US. Now next, we've got another dunk actually, but this one is releasing in the next week at its exclusive boutique. But then it's releasing in like a month's time for a more general release. And this one's actually quite close to home. So as you know, recently I bought the Undercover Cindy Sherman sweatshirt. Love it. Awesome piece. Love Undercover and the Cindy Sherman collection for their Spring Summer 2020 collection. I bought it from Slam Jam, and there was the whole story about it was, you know, the last one available in the last size, and that size was my size, and it's a very rare occurrence to have a Japanese size 5 in Undercover or just a high-end Japanese brand available. You know, like if you've tried to buy Japanese clothing before, a size 5 is a very hard size to come after the clothing's initially dropped. So I was super happy to get a size 5 there. Yeah, so Slam Jam is a boutique that releases all these exclusive high-end clothing, and they're collaborating with Nike to do 2 pairs of dunks, one in a light gray and one in a black colorway with the dual swoosh. This one's kind of going under the radar at the moment. Not too many people are posting about it, but it's definitely a release to keep on, keep on watching. It releases exclusively at Slam Jam on the 3rd of October. But then it releases allegedly for a general release on the 30th of October, so right at the end of the month. So you can either pick it up right at the start of October or wait like basically a month to pick it up right at the end of October. So it's up to you guys. Honestly, it's a pretty steezy release. I'm just happy to see like boutiques get collaborations with like Nike and stuff like that. I think that's actually a cool concept. But yeah, definitely a release to keep keep your eyes out for. Next, we have quite a big one. Comme Des Garcon's June Watanabe is collaborating with New Balance to do a pair of 574s in a triple black colorway, and it's releasing on September 25th. This is a release that's going to get looked over by your general sneakerhead. They're not going to look at it. But New Balance fans, Comme Des Garcon fans, June fans, they're all going to be coming to it, man. They are going to be flocking to this release. As I said, it's releasing on September 25th. For $225 US though. Ooh, pricey New Balance there. But hey, if you love CDG, you love June's work, you love New Balance, it's the perfect collab for you. And last but not least, this week we have to end off our final section, we have Doc Martens collaborating with Marc Jacobs. Yes, Marc Jacobs, for the 1460 remastered program, and I am going to cover this one before it drops, guys. I'm going to get the video out. I'm going to try my hardest to get the video out. It is releasing on September 25th on Doc Martens' web store. It is an absolutely wild Doc Martens 1460. This is the most bougie, glamorous looking one that we have seen so far. It's going to be something. It's also vegan as well, which I thought was pretty crazy. But that rounds it off, guys. That rounds off our final section for this podcast episode, for episode 4 of Sneakers and Stuff. I want to hear from you guys. Was there any releases that we covered in today's episode that you're super keen on? Any recent sneaker releases, recent clothing releases I didn't mention that you really want me to talk about, or you really just love in general? Let me know. Let me know on all the socials in the description section below, or scroll on down and let me know in that comment section below. And that's it, guys. That is it. That is episode 4 of our weekly podcast series, which should normally be on a Sunday. But I had to delay episode 4, so we did it on a Tuesday. We covered a lot. We covered a lot in this episode. It is a big episode, guys. We had a lot to talk about. Some real highlights here. Oh, did I forget to cover the Cdg Converse Restock? I think I actually forgot to cover the Cdg Converse Restock. We did! Oh my god. Well, there you go, guys. On top of that, tomorrow, the Cdg Converse are getting restocked. There we go. Just that last little upcoming sneaker release. I knew I forgot to write one down. There we go. That's the last part. I lied. The Doc Martens, the Marc Jacobs Doc Martens, aren't the last thing to be releasing there, but 2 iconic models that CDG and Converse have done are getting restocked tomorrow. I'm actually going to do a whole like sneaker talk episode to itself about that one, so there you go. You know, you get a whole episode to yourself for that one thing that I missed out on. But there you go. That's it. Big week. Like, there was so much that released last week. I didn't get to cover any of it, but now we have covered it all in episode 4 today. Crazy stuff. I want to hear from you guys though. Was there anything that we covered in this week that you picked up? Anything that you're looking to pick up in the upcoming releases? Let me know. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on it down in that comment section below. And of course, guys, if you want me to keep doing more episodes of Sneakers and Stuff, more episodes of Sneaker Talk and Streetwear Talk, don't forget to leave a big old like on this video, a comment in the comment section down below, and a subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to aim for 2,700 subscribers before the end of September. I honestly don't know if we're going to hit it, guys. We have to do like 70 more subs in like a week, and that's a big ask. So I don't know, if we could hit it, that would be absolutely wild, guys. Hopefully with your continuous support, we can hit maybe halfway or close to that milestone before the month ends. But that's it, guys. That's it for the 4th episode. We've covered everything, even if I only briefly covered the Cdg Converse Restock. I think I missed out on it, didn't I? I did miss out on it. It's not in, well, it's definitely not in recent releases, and I forgot to write it down in upcoming sneaker releases. But there we go. I'll do an episode of Sneaker Talk just for that, guys. So I'll make it up to you. But there we go. That's everything we have to cover for today's episode, guys. So until the next Sneakers and Stuff episode, until the next Streetwear Talk episode, until the next episode of something in general. I'll catch you later, guys.